We're rolling. Hey, man.
Let's go,
How are
buddy.
you?
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Happy to be here. Mm,
Thank you for being here.
no, my
Appreciate
pleasure.
you. I had like a bunch of questions that I was gonna ask, but prior before we start recording this, like I realized you're like a big Stephen King fan.
Yeah.
How did you become kind of like a fan?
So I was. It's funny. I'm not a horror fan at all. Like I'm not. I don't like any of the horror stuff. And I'd seen them, of course, as kids and stuff. And you come across them like Pet Cemetery and all that stuff, and Carrie. But for me, it was. I'd always heard of. I started coming across like movies that I really loved, and then I would see like based on a Stephen King novel or a story by Stephen King, and then I'd be like, okay, this guy is a really great storyteller.
Hmm.
Like I don't think I could do a book like a horror book, but then I came across like books that he had done and, Shawshank and Stand By Me. And then I was looking for a book to read that was something out of my typical kind of books. And I actually came across Fairy Tale. And that I looked at the back cover, I was reading, I was like, you know what, maybe I give Stephen King a chance. Like I want to read one of his books and see. And I was like hooked. I was like, this guy really doesn't know how to tell a story. Like he's a great storyteller. And it's funny because he also, for me, there's an element of reading that I have to connect with the book very quickly, or I'm not the best reader. So if I don't connect with the book, I won't keep going. And it felt like he was talking on in a plane that like where for me, it's conversational. Like it felt
Hmm.
real. Like it wasn't just like someone telling you the story, like you felt like you were there. And that was what happened with that book. And then after that, I picked up Holly, and then we were talking about the 11/22/63, and that book just looks intimidating as fuck.
It's big.
I mean, it's
Yes.
a big book, but
I
like you said, there's a show out, and then I think I
I
saw.
messed it up. I watch on Netflix and I'm like, this seems interesting, and I just started watching and I watched the whole show because it's with James Franco,
Yeah, yeah, and
and
it's
then
old too. Like
uh
I just came around like recently, but to see it, but it's an old show.
and then I think like after I usually don't pay attention to like the intros and stuff or like the credits at the end, but I think like I was second to last episode of the whole show and I read it's like based on a Stephen King, and I'm like, wait. So I sprint to the room and I saw it and I'm like, oh my God,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
spoiled it. I'm sure there'll be like some
yeah,
things that they skipped.
yeah.
So I'll
There's
still
always
gonna
that.
read it.
The fine details and the fun parts that typically are fun in books, like they miss out usually. It's just for storytelling purposes. You got to
Yeah.
condense it down, especially a book that size. Like I can't see the show nailing all the points.
Yeah.
And for me, I've always found that whenever I've watched something first and then read the book and if the show is or whatever I watch, let's say show to movie, whatever I watch is entertaining enough for me to pick up the book is always still entertaining
Hmm.
as entertaining as a show. But if I do the reverse, where if I read a book first and then I watch the movie or the show, whatever, the show is horrible.
No, you get disappointed.
No, it's just disappointed like all the way through. Like there's an element to me that like I love Lord of the Rings.
Hmm.
I read a lot of the books and the movies just never got there. And the
Never
movies
did
were
justice.
phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
great movies. I mean, I would never say anything horrible about the movies, but the books were they're so hard to live up to the books. And
Yeah.
so I have found that if I see the show first or the movie and then read the book, I'm happy. I've
Yeah.
never been disappointed that way.
Hmm. I guess it's because like when you're reading, you create your own like
Yeah.
world, you know?
Yeah. The imagination,
Yeah.
your own imagination always runs way bigger than whatever the show is or whatever
Mhm.
your visuals already like fed to you when you watch it in a movie or a TV show. But for me, it was like I'm trying to think if there was a classic one. It was a Michael Crichton book. It was I think the book was called Timeline.
Mhm.
And the book is about it. Like it starts off with this huge like dive into like the physics of time travel, and it really goes deep into it, and it gives like all these like nuances of like how they time travel through science, like in actual science that could be like the basis for true time travel, and then they time travel in the book. I mean, and like in the book, and then they go through this whole crazy adventure, and the whole time I'm watching it or reading it, I'm sorry, I'm visualizing characters, right? And I had visualized like one of the characters, like not an Arnold Schwarzenegger type, but like it was a big guy.
Yeah, like a
big
buff dude.
guy. Like the guy has an accent. I think he's like, I don't want to say he's Austrian, but he does have an like a European accent. So like I see this big guy, like
Yeah.
like I see like, and like if this were like Arnold Schwarzenegger younger, like 10, 20 years, whatever at the time, like this would be perfect. But like that's the character I'm visioning, right? And then they made the movie, and the movie's made with, and not to disparage this guy because rest in peace kind of thing, but like the main character is Paul Walker, and this
No,
is like
it's just
close.
like
This is close to
mhm.
like Fast and Furious days, and I'm like, I can't believe Paul Walker's a physicist. And then the guy they pick as the big hulking guy, whatever, is a young, unknown Gerard Butler,
Yeah.
and I'm like, no,
No.
like, like nothing about this is believable now.
Was that before 300?
Before 300.
So he wasn't really
He wasn't
jacked.
jacked. He wasn't known. It wasn't anything. And like he's got like this like kind of longish hair. And I'm like, dude, no, like
It's not
nothing about this.
like
Like,
what the hell? Who
and
did
so
the
and then the
casting?
movie doesn't do the science justice because it's Michael Crichton. So it's like
Yeah.
about the science, and it's about the nitty gritty of it, and the storytelling of like the time and place that they go to. And I'm trying not to like spoil what the place and time is, but the time and place that they go to, he's like very detailed. And it felt like just they like skipped the ball on all of it, and it was just like, oh, the
Man.
movie was like, oh, the book was amazing. Like I couldn't recommend the book enough to people. And then the movie came out, and I was like, I hope nobody ever watches this movie because they associated to this movie. It's over.
It's not gonna work. Was like the movie like a good?
No,
No,
horrible. The essence of the book runs on a timeline, but like there's a running clock, right? And every chapter is like the clock ticking, like, and so like the start of the chapter is like whatever time, 8 hours, whatever left or whatever. And so the tension build is insane. And as the book is going along, like the gaps are like an hour or 2 hours, and then it's like 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 12, like it's like getting like tighter and tighter because they have to complete whatever it is. But the time is running out, did that whole tension build in the movie?
Gone. There
Pointless.
wasn't
Like
that.
I don't even think they like are checking their clocks. Like the whole thing was like everything is like they have to be on top of their clocks and on top of their time.
They didn't pay
No one's like
attention to
doing any of that.
Man.
Like the tension was like the fighting and the big, and it's like no, that wasn't the tension.
What do you guys sort?
Yeah, they lost the book completely.
Who was the director for that one?
I don't remember. I mean, we can look it up. I love IMDb. Sorry. But I love IMDb, and so I'll check everything out. I get like you said, you don't really check the stuff. Yeah. Like no. If something intrigues me, like 5 minutes into it, I'm like, who wrote this? Like, who's the director?
That's I guess like the downside now is like if I start reading that book, I'm gonna picture James Franco instead of like somebody else.
That's fine. And the visual, like I think on character visuals, like fine. Like I mean, maybe they even like the way that they portray James Franco, they try to depict the character in the book. So like they'll like you won't be so far off, or you can like paint that picture for yourself. But even then, like you'll like make him like long haired or something. Like you'll do something with it. Yeah. But all the side characters or anything, that stuff that you already like, there may be someone that's bigger in the book that like doesn't even show up
there.
Yeah, and so or they like they make an amalgamation of like 2 or 3 characters in a book, and then they'll make it one character in the movie because they can't really, so
fit
like
it all in there.
Yeah, so then you realize
the book.
Yeah, exactly. So then you realize like like this guy is not even that guy. Like, and so like now you split that whole reality apart.
Yeah, I think with it was like that because I read the book and the movie is just like a skips because like a lot of gross stuff there and like
that was a tough one. That's a guilty pleasure one because that's one I actually did watch as a kid because it was like a TV. Remember, I feel like the first time it came out, at least the way I remember,
it was a TV show.
It was a TV like miniseries, right? So like it was like the first half of like their kids, and like you're engrossed with the story of kids.
Because at the time we were in that
age range, right? Like Goonies is a thing because I was a kid during Goonies. Like so, like you're engrossed, and then all of a sudden you see them as adults, and you realize that like their like trauma passes on. Now you want to know how that trauma ends. But dude, that character of the Pennywiser, fuck that. Sorry, I'm gonna curse like crazy, and it's okay. I feel good about it. Recently, I heard a study that like people who curse, as long as they're not cursing at people and they're just cursing in general sense, live longer.
Well, so I'm gonna be forever.
I'm gonna be like, fuck, I'm gonna be here forever. I'm gonna be around for a minute. Yeah. My buddy was like, I said that to him, and I was like, so there you go, guys. Fuck it, curse. And then he was like, you know what? Fuck you. I'm dying. He's like came right at me. Like, I was like, Jesus, man. But But yeah, like it's such a hard it was one of those like guilty pleasures because like I struggled to watch that movie.
Mhm.
And then I saw the remake comes out and like
Oh, that one even
now they make
worse, like,
Pennywise like way worse. The character, like the actor that does that is amazing. So like they make it way worse. And then now my little nephew, who's like a cinephobe and like he loves movies and
Mhm.
TVs, and I'm always like throwing stuff at him. He's throwing things stuff back at me. He's like, you got to see Welcome to the HBO one now.
Hmm.
There's a new TV series that they made about it that kind of tells it more prolonged. I think it's like how Pennywise comes to that town, Drury. I think that's the name of the town.
Oh,
So
yeah.
so the show is called Welcome to Drury. So it's
Oh,
like
I didn't know they have
introducing
that.
How Pennywise comes to that town.
Oh, wow.
So that's the TV show on HBO. Apparently, we're doing plugs all day here. But
Dude, hit us up.
yeah, come on, people, let's make this go. But yeah, that they do that, and he's amazed by it. He's like fascinated by it. He loves it, and I'm like, I will never watch a second of that show. I don't care how good it is. Like I just can't bring myself. I don't have this. I don't have like the composition to do scary movies anymore.
Well, because it can go both ways. It can, like, get you hooked on and you still want to, like, go to the next level,
Yeah.
or it can, like, ruin the It movies for you. Like,
He says it's amazing, and he's like, I mean, like I said, he loved the new It. The new It is his It, where like the old It was
it's
mine.
kind of like ours, yeah.
So like I know the story enough to like I don't have to watch the new It and
Mhm.
say we can still talk about it.
Yeah.
But this whole thing, this new Welcome to Drury thing is a whole new thing on its own, right? So like he's like, you have to watch it, like because you've talked about it. I'm like, no, I only talk about it but from memory. And it's past trauma. We've moved on from that. Like we don't have to go revisiting that. Like
Yeah, I've always been, like, a huge fan of, like, all the horror movies. Because I kind of grew up with, like, Halloween and Jason
yeah,
and Freddy
Freddy.
Krueger. And then Scream now, like Ghostface. And they're going to have a new
Oof.
one coming up.
I don't think I saw past two,
Mhm.
Scream 2. And I'll tell you, I have an exact point of where like I no longer wanted to watch scary movies ever again. And that point on, I don't think I've ever really watched. I know of them enough to like you
Mhm.
see them through previews or like you know pop culture references and whatever. So like I know of stories or movies. I can tell you the exact one that was the last one I ever sat through, and I can tell you the first one I ever sat through, and the reason why there's such trauma, and it's because I'm the youngest of three brothers,
Mhm.
and everything my middle brother would
Can't
do,
think of,
yeah, and everything my middle brother would do, I had to do.
Yeah.
Like I had to like if he was playing football, if he was swimming,
To
like
prove him, yeah.
and not only that, like it was easier for my parents to like put both of us in
Yeah.
everything, and like you know, because that way you had both of us covered instead of having to drive us around or whatever. It's one activity, you drop them all off. But I was always the smallest one of the crew, and so my brother comes home with this desire to watch a scary movie, and the movie is Poltergeist. And this is he's like 6, maybe. Maybe he's like 5, 6. I want to say he's like 6 because I don't think my parents would have, if I was younger than 4,
Mhm.
I don't think my parents would have really let me see it. But I would think I was like 4 or 5 years old. So he was like 6 or 7. But he comes home, I have to watch Poltergeist. I have to watch Poltergeist. And my parents like, you're going to both watch Poltergeist. And they sat us both down.
Best parents ever. Like,
And they're like,
you want to scare yourself
like,
to death?
yeah. And I watched Poltergeist. To this day, if I see a clown sitting on like a shelf or something, I'm like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, nope, I'm not. We're not doing this. I don't care. To this day, I can't do it. And so that's number one. And then from there, of course, we all grew up
Yeah.
like Jason and Friday, and I mean, they were like it was like an era of I think horror movies run in like eras. So like that era was the 80s or 90s like horror movies were like this like if you watch them outside of that moment, or if you've ever watched them before, they're comical. Like they're so over the top and so like it doesn't play on like true fear. It plays more on like horror, like I mean more on gore and like these like crazy situations or whatever. Um, so you watch them and then like they're very you know they're still scary. They're very like whatever, but like they have like once you've gone through them, you can kind of go through them again, or whatever. And then comes like a genre which is like the last genre, or whatever, which is like when it started with Scream, and then it became like the Ring,
Mhm.
like what was the one about the kid screaming and it was like a Chinese or Japanese.
I don't know that one.
There's a kid that could hit the kid that would like scream at the edge of the bed. I don't know. I didn't watch
Yeah.
it. That's how bad it is. But the last one I ever saw was The Ring. So like The Ring
Oh, I remember that.
ruined me.
That yeah, I
That
had
was
nightmares. And it's funny because like I watched that with my sister, so
uh
we are like 6 years different.
Okay.
So I guess I was probably like 13 or
Okay.
12. That means she was 6 or 7.
Mm.
And then we watched that together. And I had nightmares for 2, 3 days. I
Dude,
think she didn't sleep for like a week, dude.
ruined me.
Because I don't know, were you born in Cuba or,
I was conceived in Cuba, born in
but
the
then
U.S.
born in
Yeah, born in
Miami?
Miami. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'm from Ecuador. And at the time, I couldn't sleep without the TV on.
Oh,
And then I think after midnight, they play the national anthem and the
and
channel just got,
yeah.
dude, I could swear I would like every time if I needed to go to the bathroom and the TV was on, I was like, I guess I'm gonna pee the bed,
Be in the
dude.
bed tonight. But dude, I remember the first 5 minutes of Scream where like they kill Drew Barrymore or whatever. Like that's like became the genre. Like in the first 5 minutes of movies, they would like show you the
Have
most
to,
scary
yeah.
shit to like hook you in and like let you know the atmosphere of where you're at. So in the first 5 minutes of Ring is like the girls found in the
Watch the video
yeah,
and
she
then the
watches the
phone
video
rings.
and then the phone and the whole thing plays out, right? But in the first 5 minutes, this happens, and it's a girl like home alone or whatever. We were watching it, and they showed like they did the scene where like they flashed a girl in the closet, and she's all like,
Like all
you know,
fucked
like all
up,
messed up, whatever, like
ah.
in her face, whatever. They just flashed that picture, and everybody like, oh, everybody jumps in the video, like, oh, this girl in front of me stood up and was like, fuck this shit, and like got up and starts walking, and like her man's like, what's going on? She's like, let's go, motherfucker, this is bullshit, like I ain't dealing with this shit. And like they walk out and they made a scene walking
Oh
out,
my goodness.
and as they're walking out, I was like, take me with you. Like,
you were thinking like, oh, can you do the same? Do the same.
Yeah, I was like, I can't. Now I can't leave for sure because like this woman made enough scene. Like anybody else gets up, they're gonna be like, man, sit the fuck down. Whatever. So this woman leaves, and I was just like, oh, now I'm fucked. Like now I gotta sit through this whole thing. I was so fucked at that point. That movie brutalized me, man. It was the one that like it's one of those movies that like where the I was also fascinated with movies at the time that like where the bad guy doesn't lose. Like it's not that they win, but like they also didn't lose at the end of the movie. Like that was a classic one where like the you think it's all happy resolution, whatever, and the bad guy wins, and you're like, dude, this is not how this is supposed to go. Like you're supposed to give me hope at the end of these things, and it did nothing. And so I got up out of the movie. I was like, never again. Like this is my beachfront. Like never again. Like it was brutal. Like I said, I've never watched a scary movie since. Not in full, not in full. Yeah, not in full. Like I know of it, but I've never watched a scary movie since. I've watched like some dramas or like stuff that has like elements of horror, but not real true scary movies. So like I've watched I got into The Walking Dead because that was phenomenal, and
more of a show and zombies. Yeah.
And the graphic novel stuff. I was a huge comic book guy as a kid, where so like graphic novels always hooked me. But the thing about that movie or that show, at least, is that it's more the psychology of man. Like it's so like I could watch it, but even after like 4 or 5 seasons of it, I never finished it. Like I don't know how it ended because like I just couldn't tolerate it anymore.
I don't think I'll ever like stop watching like kind of like movies like that, but I do think I'm trying to think the name. I think it was called The Priest or something. Something like that. That one fucked me up, dude.
Do you remember who was in it?
I wish. I guess it was somebody famous. Was the guy from Silence of the Lamb?
Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah. So
yes,
he was.
Where it's like it's almost like on the Exorcist kind of stuff.
Yeah.
No, fuck that.
That one messed me up. Like
no, enough. Because also they play too much on like realism now. Like it's this is a true story. Like I remember some friend of mine wanted me to watch the Emily Rose, like the
Exorcist, like the Exorcist story,
and I was like, wait, this is based on a true story? F that. Like, I don't even know if it's true stuff. If this stuff is true, kill me now.
The thing in there is because like in one part of the movie that they mentioned like the whole point of the exorcism and stuff like that is the spirit or the entity, it'll play with your brain. So you're not actually seeing stuff outside, but it's fucking with your mind. And I remember when I watched the movie and then I got home, I'm not lying, for like a week, dude, I would like hear shit.
Convincing.
And I'm like, is it happening? This is in my mind. Like, you know, like sometimes I was like sleeping and then you know how when you get like paralyzed and I'm like, oh fuck, I just close my eyes. And I guess I was like in my 20s when the movie came out.
Sure.
After that movie, I'm like, fuck that. But I think that was like after a while, I think I lasted 2, 3 weeks, and then I was back into it because then like the Conjuring movies came out, and I love those.
So you know, it's funny. I think I've seen like the most of The Conjuring, because The Conjuring was a good story, and like the acting was good. But like Conjuring 2, 3, 4, whatever, however many they on around now, yeah, no. But like I remember seeing like
the first one was good.
I remember the first one was like I heard someone told me like it was worth watching. It wasn't really that scary. And then of course like they get you because there were scary fucking parts. But like I don't think I ever finished it also because like you just can't. I just kind of like looked up the story, and then like the first one apparently was based on as much realism as because apparently there was a real couple, whatever. But then like from The Conjuring comes like a slew of other movies that are like break-offs and whatever.
Like The Nun and like
Never seen any of
Annabelle.
those. No, I've never seen.
Oh, I have
Annabelle.
followed all
Are
of
you ready?
those.
So this one to bring it to the whole point of like when I found out like half these stories lately, especially like are based off of real things. Like I hate horror movies. People know this about me. Like I talk to people about movies. Like don't talk to me about horror movies. And at one point, I want to say it was Annabelle, but I don't think it was Annabelle. Was there like a little boy doll?
I don't. Yeah, I think
I don't know.
Annabelle was the one
Or
from
maybe
the
it was Annabelle, but I feel like there's another doll
I'm sure
that's with this family that they had collect, because you know how like one scene in the movies
they
are like
have like an attic. And
yeah,
that's
that's
in
like
real
all
life.
the paranormal kind of like.
So you know the comedian, I think it's Matt Rife.
Okay.
He bought that house with all the things in there.
Where's that house?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Ohio, maybe.
Okay, no. So then what happened to me was I'm in Key West, and apparently one of the artifacts that they own is this like little boy doll, because I'm pretty sure it's a boy doll. But apparently the house of that boy doll, like that story, is in Key West. And I was staying like I went to like
near.
I was staying like about a couple blocks away, but like we went to the house next door to that house, and that's when they tell me about this. And I'm like, why'd you even get me this close to this? Because apparently like the thing like messed with like
for you to like be
They waited until I was like right like arms distance away, and they're like, oh, you remember this, sir? That's the house right there. I was like, dude, I'm out. Peace. Thank you. I appreciate the hospitality. No, you can go eat a dick.
Crawl into the.
No, I was like, go eat a dick now. I'm out of here. Like, I don't want to know about this. Like, no, I was like, you can't put this stuff in the real context, man. I'm like, I don't want to come across it. Like, no.
I guess the only like anticlimactic thing is like if you see the doll in real life, is nothing compared to. It's just like the most innocent freaking doll.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Until it fucking rolls its eyes and looks at you and says, "Mama," like, then you're like, "I'm out." Like,
I'm like, oh.
I've reached a point in my life where the indicator to me that I've gone too far is shitting my pants. And
So
I don't
that's like-
have a desire to go there anymore. Like,
That's a 10.
yeah, like I see that doll, I probably gonna shit my pants, even if it does nothing to me. I'm just gonna shit my pants, and like I didn't want to go there.
You know, that's funny. Like that doesn't happen on a scary movie.
What, shit your pants?
Yeah, they
Oh.
should. They should have that.
They should.
They should have in the new scary movies.
I was gonna say it's gonna probably be in the ones not like the ones that are like the spoof movies or whatever. Like that's when they have like those type of scenes where like that's really what happens to people.
You sit down, you lay down on bed, and somebody's like, and you, you're like,
yeah. One of my favorite jokes was it was Eddie Murphy. I think it was on one of his like big special ones, like Raw or Delirious, whatever. But he was talking about how like, it was like the joke of like the type of people that are in horror movies, like you're not gonna see black people in horror movies or whatever, because like the moment like white people would be like in a horror movie and like the house is like, get out, and they're like, it's such a beautiful home, like we'll have to just deal with things, and it's like a black family moves in and they're like, this is a beautiful house, a beautiful neighborhood, get out, too bad we can't live here.
like, fuck this shit up.
Like, we're out.
I guess I'm leaving.
Like that's the same thing as Hispanics, like we don't fuck around. Like it would be like something be like, oh no we're out of here.
What are we doing? Like,
yeah. Why are we sitting around like, what that noise is about? No,
I think it'll be fine. I think there's like a Geico commercial. Then like somebody's like chasing them, and it's like, hurry, let's like hide behind all of those like chainsaws or whatever. And the guy is like, what?
It just makes no sense. Like, no. Everybody falls when they're being chased in horror movies.
Yeah.
Oh man, I have like dreams about that. Like that's like one of those like recurring fear dreams or whatever. Is that like I can't run away from something because like my instinct is to like, nope, get the fuck out. Like shit's about to go down. Like I'm looking for an exit, and if there's no exit, then it's like I'm fighting. Like and that's the only options I have. I don't have like the no, it's not part like I'm either like I'm out, I'm not dealing with this,
Mhm.
or like okay, we're in this, like fuck it, we're going all out. Like
But that's the thing, like, once it happens, let's say you froze, it's like, "What the
yeah, yeah.
fuck?"
I've swung at people by mistake because I my instinct was like I can't get out of this. I'm swinging. Like I've hurt like girlfriends by mistake because like
Oh, man.
they've tried to scare me and I'm like throw an
Ah.
elbow and they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, you scared me. I'm hitting. I didn't see it now. I was fighting. Like I was got scared. Like that's what I got.
Okay, I'm bringing you to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Oh
I
no,
wanna see
I'm horrible
you
with
start
that.
punching everybody
So
in
you
the
know what I
house.
do? So what I do is I actually walk like really close to the people in front of you because
And you
like
look down.
I look down, but if you walk close enough to like the people who are like ahead of you, they get the fright,
Mhm.
and like it doesn't happen to you. Where like if you leave the gap between people, that
You
was
don't know what's happening.
no, yeah, they have the time to reset and
Mhm.
then like scare you. Like no, every time I get into a horror and like any of those houses, I either get I'm the last person in the group that we're in, or I'm packing. I'm like running up to the next group ahead of us, and they're like, "Why are you going so fast?" I'm like, "Cause there's a group right there, and
Because
they're gonna get the
I
scare."
don't wanna get scared.
Like that's how I figure it out. Like that's how I get into through Halloween Horror Nights.
I always like I like to go there, and it's funny 'cause last year I took Shelly and we went with some friends,
Mhm.
but I guess the house now, like all the houses are more instead of being scary, they are more like gruesome.
Mm,
And Shelly was like, "What the fuck are
yeah,
we doing?" Because it'll be like people with like knives, and you see like the intestines and stuff, and like
right.
the smells. And Shelly's like, "You like this shit? You fucking
Yeah.
psycho!" Like,
It's the homages to,
I
like, the
know.
movie, like,
Yeah,
the IP of the movies or whatever, so, like, yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah, no,
think now is Terrifier. That's the new
I'm good.
the clown. Like I'm good.
Just the name sounds terrifying. I'm out.
Yeah, but that's like, have you seen him? Because he's more like he's like the black and white clown.
Is
Like
this the
he's
one that
supposed to
constantly
be
smiles?
silly. Uh huh.
Yeah, no. No, I'm good.
But then like he's like crazy.
Yeah, no, 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 no,
I'm
we're
like,
good.
why?
Especially it's a clown. You already heard my traumas about
About
clowns. Like,
police.
no, man. That's why you bring up it, like all those things. Like, no, man, you want to scare me? Add a clown. Like, I feel like that's like a universal fear for people. Like, either they
I
love
know.
clowns or like they hate clowns. Like, that's like a very divisive topic. Like,
And it's funny because like I didn't get it growing up, but now I'm like, okay, that's like it hits you in the trauma.
yeah,
Like
it's because it's
like a
supposed to be
positive
disarm.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be disarming. It's supposed to be
Mhm.
like a kid thing. It's supposed to be
Something that you can like
silly.
trust, and it's
Yeah,
fucking with your
and
trust
it's
so
like
early.
it's the number one thing. Yeah, no. Oh man. Like in going back to it, like
Yeah.
the balloons and stuff like it's just the visuals of a clown become terrifying. Like
Mhm.
in any scene that you're watching that movie or that show, whatever, and you see a balloon come up, like
Now
balloons
it's
are
gonna
yeah,
traumatize
that's it.
you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like you see a balloon, you see the little nose, you see like fuzzy
A
colored rainbow,
clown.
like you see anything that resembles clown imagery, and
Yeah.
you're terrified instantly.
Or even like you're walking down the street and then you see that little crack
Dude,
on the sidewalk, then you're like, oh fuck. Have you seen the pictures on Instagram for Halloween? People put like a
whatever they
little
put out down there that's
yeah.
like trapping them into the thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
like it lures them in.
I know.
But how terrifying also like and I never had it. I don't feel like I ever saw it in Miami, but like maybe in like up north it was a thing. But like where like the reason he gets that first kid is because the boat like sails down
Hmm.
the little like the water as it's raining, or whatever. Like how terrifying! Like that was such a sweet moment. I'd be like, I'd fucking chase that boat too. Like it'd be such curiosity.
Yeah, and
And
then
then
it's
all
like
of a
a
sudden,
friendly clown comes and talks to you and say,
hey, how's it
"Hey, do you want
going?
a balloon?" And then as soon as you reach, it's just
Yeah.
like,
And it played into like as I grew up I was an 80s like so I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s, and in 80s in Miami and South Florida in general was like the like kidnappings was a big thing.
Mhm,
Like the guy who did America's Most Wanted, I
mhm.
forget his last name, but like his kid was one. The reason he came to fame and he was chasing after criminals or whatever is because his kid is one of like these like very very famous cases of like kidnapping, and it happens in South Florida. So like every parent in South Florida
Mm,
is traumatized about kids
with
getting kid.
that,
So
yeah.
and then like like we were constantly being fed the stories of like
Be
someone comes with you with
careful,
candy,
yeah.
like don't go in their van, like don't get into this, like don't go with strangers. Like that was a narrative like that, and don't do drugs. Like was like the 80s narrative for kids. Like don't get in the backseat of a car, don't get into cars with strangers, and like don't do drugs. Like those are two things. And so you have this like whole thing that all those movies that come out and that play in that like kind of fear of like
Mhm.
this like friendly friend. Yeah, I got balloons, and then I'm gonna eat you. Like no,
Like,
like
fuck
it was just
that.
reinforcing that
Of
like
what they
constant
were
fear that we
saying.
were living in. Like no, 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 I'm good. We're not going there.
I'm trying to remember what was the first Stephen King movie because it wasn't anything scary. I think it was The Green Mile
The first one that you remember?
that I read.
Mm.
And then he's like, "Oh, that's nothing compared to the other books that he have." And I'm like, "What other books he has?" And I think the second that I read was The Shining. And then I read the book and I was like, "Whoa!"
So you know it's funny since like talking about The Shining. The Shining to me is a movie that I could still watch to this day
Mhm.
because I think if like the movie is a if it's a great story,
Yeah.
I can tolerate the suspense and the
Hmm.
fear because like I don't hate suspense. I don't hate I don't like I don't dislike in the sense that I don't want to watch it. Like I don't dislike that kind of stuff. And The Shining was such an amazing story. And so like you brought up, I think you said your one of your favorite books was
The sequel,
the
like
sequel to
Doctor Sleep.
Doctor
Yeah.
Sleep, right? I haven't seen the new movie, but I'm like, it's one of those movies that like it sits in the back of my head. Like I really want to see it because the story of The Shining was so good, and it's one of those movies I've seen, and it was also Stanley Kubrick, so like
Hmm.
the whole element of that, and of course Jack Nicholson killing the
Yeah.
role, like all those elements made that amazing, that an amazing movie, even if it was a horror-ish kind of movie, whatever. But Doctor Sleep is one of those I battle with because it's like I really want to see it because I want to know where the story goes.
Hmm.
And if knowing it's a Stephen King book too, like he kept that probably story going. I don't know how
Yeah.
true to the story or true to the book the movie is, but I don't think I could read through the book, but I could definitely watch the movie. And
This
I
is
want
kind
to
of
see it.
similar. I
I
think.
want to see it because I want to know where that story goes. Because that
Yeah.
story was amazing.
Yeah.
Like that was a great story.
No, so Doctor Sleep is like the book kind of has like the thing that they skip in the movie is kind of just like the fillers
Okay.
prior and before, but
Sure.
yeah. And then like it's a good book. And I think I became a Stephen King fan because I read the autobiography.
Oh yeah. Dude, that guy,
And then
rock star.
yeah, but the way that he started, like he was
Yeah.
like a nerd.
Sure.
Like in high school. Like I have it if you want to read it. He like I think she's like a single mom
Uh-huh.
raising two kids, and she was like she'll dated weird guys, and then he had like a good brain to like a creative brain.
Hmm.
So all the movies, one example that I always have in mind was like Pet Cemetery.
Mm.
So the way that he came out was because he had a house that it didn't the street didn't lead to like a highway, but it was like a like really like a lot of traffic in that
Sure.
house. And then he happened to have his first son. So one day the son was following a ball and the son got out of the house. Thank God nothing happened.
Okay.
And he caught the son before he went to the street. But then that's how that
That
started.
level of fear of like
So
that.
he's like, oh, what if he would have got killed? And then just the brain goes like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
so all the stories, like after you read the autobiography and then you start reading each book, you're like, huh. So
This is the end of
this
the
part and
series.
this part, it came from that. So like, I think he has some sort of like, kind of like a story of himself in each book.
Sure.
He just kind of like manipulates to be like scary and stuff. So
Right. Yeah, yeah, no, his brain. I mean, that guy, the story, amount of storytelling he can do, which is not just like on the horror side when like coming up with these crazy horror stories, but like also like the other stuff that you can read of, like even like oh, what was the one that they made a miniseries about it too, where it was like the airplane that disappears and like reappears or something, or like I mean, he's got so many stories that I like remember. Oh no, the one I remember now that I was like I was so hooked and I feel like the movie didn't do the book justice, but I never read the books, but the movie was hyped so much, which is the one, it was something about a tower. It was basically a kid who gets like kidnapped and brought
mhm.
to like a secondary world. I think it's called the Dark Tower.
Yeah, Dark Tower
The
or
Dark
something like
Tower or
that.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like that, apparently like the books are like a trilogy or something like that. And it's like a great story. Like, and then the movie does what it does with movies, and like you can't tell all the richness of it, but like that, like he can do it's not just horror. My point to you is like the amount of like content that that man can produce and the
Mhm.
amount of creativity that that guy has.
Yeah.
Like he can do fantasy, he can do horror, he can do everything, heartbreaking stories. I mean, like for me, Stand By Me is one of those movies that like was from a kid, like I
Mhm.
loved. And I didn't know until like, let's say, I think Shawshank was the first one that it was like, I saw that it said story by whatever, Stephen King. And then I was like, how many movies has this guy done or how many things? And then to know that all these other movies were associated, The Green Mile, like
Mhm.
these are movies that play on heartstrings and on emotions that are like, that guy can tell a hell of a story. And it's amazing how well he can craft them. And like, so like, kudos to him. He's a
Oh,
great writer.
absolutely. And even like, I don't think he does it for the money and like anymore
I mean, he
because
puts out stories
he's
constantly
every
too.
year he drops
Yeah.
a book
A
like,
book and then short story compilations
and then
and
he
like,
works on shows and
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
Netflix, and so it's
There
just
is
like
a,
impressive of like he does it for the love of writing.
yeah, love of the game. Like that's a true story. That's a true storyteller who has a talent and creativity level that like is like unseen. Like that guy's he was destined to do that, and it shows that he just constantly is doing it. And
Yeah.
then I mean to persevere also his life, like I mean, going from like where he was a raging whatever alcoholic drug guy whatever, and then
Mhm.
his accident and to persevere through all of those things like and still put out content. I mean that's a brain that's on another level.
Yeah, and I think what's the movie that Johnny Depp is on, but he plays him like I'm trying to remember.
He plays Stephen King.
So he's like he plays so it's not a movie based on like a book that Stephen
Okay.
King wrote, but you can tell by the way that he plays in the movie.
Oh, is it the one where he's like he's a horror movie writer and
Uh-huh.
they come in like the book comes to life kind of thing for him?
Yeah, I think somebody comes. He's going to like a divorce, and then this guy comes. He's like, "Oh, the book that you just sold, you stole my idea."
Yeah, yeah.
But then he's like, and all the shit start happening, and
Never
it's
saw it.
all in his head. Like, ah,
Yeah, no, never saw that. That gets that borders on the point of like too much like suspense for me.
yeah.
I'm okay.
Oh, what's the?
I know which movie you're talking about. I've never seen it though.
Yeah, but there's another one with the lady that kidnaps him.
Oh, Misery?
Yeah, that
Dude,
one. When I
that's
saw
a wild one
that one
too.
was like,
There's a
did he get her an Oscar? I
I think
think,
so. Yeah,
yeah.
Kathy
Like
Bates got an Oscar
she got
Oscar for that.
so deep into that
Dude,
thing.
that one
So
messes with your head because that's like
that's
oh,
one of the examples that, like, I think that the movie was bigger than the book, just because the way she
sure.
played it.
Yeah, yeah, and it won an Oscar and everything, like, it got its claim, because of how good that she portrayed that character.
Yeah.
There was there was something recently and whatever, I'll come if it comes back to me, I'll think of it, but, like, there was something recently that was playing on that, like, same amount of fear of, like, Misery where, like, it's like you think it's someone who's taking care of you and, like a care provider, and then they realize that, like, they're just keeping you sicker and keeping you, like, hurt, and oh,
Yeah,
dude, how horrible.
I
Like, but
know.
that's a movie, I can tell you, like, a lot of the quotes, a lot of the scenes, like, I don't remember it. The ending, I don't really remember how it ends because I don't think I ever got through the whole movie
Uh-huh.
and or I just saw it one time and like blacked out like the ending. But like I remember like the scenes of the movie, like her breaking his ankles on the block or whatever. Like
Oh, yeah, he put, like, the piece of wood between the legs
she's
and
like
then
I'm doing this because I love you, whatever. And it's like, oh, I remember which movie I'm remembering now. The Sam Raimi movie that's gonna come out now. Who's Sam Raimi, by the way, is another guy who like takes
yeah.
horror movies to like another place. But he's doing a movie called I forgot. It's like Rachel McAdams and some other kid who's an amazing actor too. But they get like locked. They get like basically it's two people on a deserted island, and like he in the real life like he was the power player. He was her boss, and she was like a subordinate. But now that they're in the island, like now she's the one that's like taking care of him, and like she's like, now you're in my world, you know, like now you I
Oh,
haven't like
shit.
now I'm the one in control, and it's like so that power dynamic,
So
and
it's
it's
just, like, switches.
yeah,
Oh,
and then it plays on the whole like concept of like someone taking care of you, just but they're like your worst nightmare. Oh Jesus! No, I saw the preview. I was like, that looks like an interesting story. Not gonna see
nope.
it. Like never gonna go there, but looked good.
No, man. And it's like, I think that's how they can, like, movies get you, because it's like on your fears
Oh my god, they
in
play
real
on
life,
yeah.
and then you're like, you start like subconsciously thinking about it. Next thing you know, you're like, kind
Yep.
of like fucking
Could that
watching
happen?
your back. It's like,
Yeah,
fuck.
yeah, yeah. I think that's how like most of the stories, like the more realistic the premise of the story can be, is what makes you draws you in, and then like where that story takes you after that is then the fun of the storyteller, you know. But the concepts are like universal in a sense, so like they will trap you, or they will catch you, and it's almost like additives to like it's like adding like bacon to any recipe. Like
Mm.
the bacon's gonna draw you in. Now, if it's a good recipe and it's good, and, you know, it's an overall like then that's what keeps you going back for more. But like bacon's the draw. Like, if you say,
Yeah,
"I'm gonna make whatever, I'm gonna make cornbread," you're like, "Alright, cornbread." You're like, "I'm gonna make cornbread with bacon,"
bacon.
and you're
And
like,
you're like, ah,
"Huh? What's that?
that's
I heard bacon?" Yeah,
that is funny. Yeah, that is a
yeah,
good
so, like, the
analogy.
story, the premise is what draws you in because 'cause you're like, "That's crazy,"
Yeah,
like,
that's the
that would be
bacon.
yeah, that's the bacon, and then, like, the story itself is like, was it a good
Was
recipe?
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha! Nice analogy.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I don't know what's next. I think they're gonna have like a new scary movie in the six, but I think at this point they're just trying to make movie
Yeah. This is the guy with the long
money.
face guy, right? The
Yeah,
what's
the
his face?
ghost face.
Ghostface, yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, at this point, like, that doesn't even at some point, I think they lost me. I think they came out with a show too, like, there was a series that was based on it, or, like I said, the first 2 trapped me because I was, like, late high school for me. So, like, it was, like it drew me in, like, all those actors and everything, like, the stories were great, and it was enough that, like, pop culture had, like, enough references of it that, like, you had to watch it.
Hmm.
And I think I watched Scary 2 movie 2 or no, not Scary, or Scream. I watched
Yeah.
Scream 2, I think.
Although the scary movies were funny.
Yeah, and then the scary movies come out and spoof them, and then, you know, but, like, and then even scary movies, I think I've only seen, like, 1 or 2 of them, because, like, at some point, like, you can't
Yeah, then they
there's
get
only so much of
silly.
the same story you can bring up. Like, I
Yeah.
think I've only seen 2 of the Fast and Furious, like, it's just, like, you can't keep me coming back for the same story unless
Hmm.
you've done something like develop the characters and stuff,
Yeah,
so,
that's true. I think now is just the sequel has to be good, otherwise they lose
yeah.
you.
I'm fascinated how, like, everything in it feels like there's a lot of elements in Hollywood, like, they're just, like, regurgitating, like, bringing back things, like, retelling stories, but there's enough of a hook, at least with one of them, to get me in. So, like, um, they've taken all of our, like, childhood like, toys and made them into movies or
Hmm.
whatever, and so, like, the latest one, I think, is gonna be the He-Man,
Yeah.
and
Are
so
they gonna do a movie
oh,
of
yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Masters of the
funny.
Universe, the whole thing, and I sent it to a group of friends of mine because the preview just came out, like, not too long ago, and I sent it to a group of friends of mine, and I was like, "I think they're gonna hook me for one." Like, I think I'm gonna go in and watch at least one of these because I wanna
Mhm.
see these toys and these, like, cartoons that I
Yeah,
saw as a kid.
'cause
It's the nostalgia factor, but, like, if they try to make this into, like, like, if it does well and
a
sells,
trilogy,
if they try to
then
make, like,
you're like,
you know,
"Ah."
He-Man 2, like, this fight to this thing, like, no, 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 now you lost me, like,
Yeah.
give me one,
Make
come
it
up
good
make
and,
it good and
like,
come up with another one.
yeah.
Like, someone told me they were talking about, like, the second Barbie or whatever. Like, Barbie was amazing, like, there was a
Mhm.
great thing, like, the story, like, was amazing, like, the
Yeah,
director
the
is a
flipping the
phenomenal
roles and stuff,
but,
yeah.
like, so, like, everything about the movie was great. I loved it. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Like, I don't think you're gonna get me for a second one.
Was
Like, what are we gonna do? Like, there's maybe a bad Barbie? Like, I don't know. Like, you're not gonna get me. Like, I understand, like, they can make up content for a
Mhm,
second one, but, like, I don't think it's gonna have the thing that the first one had, which was, like, it didn't tell the story that you thought was gonna tell about Barbie.
mhm.
It was, like,
Yeah,
an
they made
interesting
it
take on it.
actually,
Yeah,
yeah.
what made it was an interesting take, but, like, okay, I've seen it, though. Like,
Yeah, like the second one, what are they gonna do?
I don't know.
Just
Like,
yeah, it's
and so, like, you can't do that. Like, I think I saw the first I think I saw G.I. Joe, like, when they made the G.I. Joe movies, I think I saw, like, one of them.
mhm,
But then, like, then they made, like, 2 or 3 of them, like, you lost me.
yeah.
Like,
I think I watched those because like, Channing Tatum was on it.
yeah, and then they made, like, a Snake Eyes, like,
Uh-huh,
they were gonna tell, like, other stories or whatever, and
uh-huh.
it's just like, "No, like,
So like,
you
well,
told me the story."
I
Like,
think what everybody's trying to do is just recreate like Rocky. Like the
right.
Rockies, like that one was the best because each movie,
Mhm.
have you watched all of them?
Mm,
Or is the
that's
same
not
thing?
one that's gonna keep me going. Yeah, like, I think I saw, like maybe as a kid, I saw up to 3.
Mhm,
I've never watched them again. I think
mhm.
I've seen Rocky 1 more time after that because a friend of mine had wanted to watch it, and I think I saw it for them. But, like, I've never gone back to them. And then, like, the Rocky Balboa movie that came out, never saw that because I don't believe
Yeah,
I didn't think it didn't believe me that, like, a 50, 70-year-old boxer is gonna come back
we
another
go
time.
back,
That wasn't gonna get
and
me.
then it happened. Like
I know, but it
freaking,
it it
like
imitates life, you know?
yeah, Paul and what was
And
like
Mike
the one
Tyson.
of yeah,
Yeah,
and that was.
but
You think that
then
was rigged?
yeah, that was completely rigged. That's a whole 'nother story, but that was completely rigged. The last one, though, when he got beat the fuck up, no, that was real.
That was yeah. I
And
think
even
they're
that though, like it felt like he wasn't really fighting him all the way
all the time.
until like the end where he like just caught him with like a really good couple combination and it was over.
Yeah,
But
and I
then
think
like
now he's getting sued because he
who?
didn't fight like the
The guy?
yeah
The main guy, Anthony or whatever? He's
because
getting
he didn't
sued?
fight like he didn't follow like a script.
See? You
So
see? That tells you it's fake
I know,
or whatever.
but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I
Yeah.
read it on Instagram.
But the other one then but then to take it into another thing was like what was the one that they did with the kid? Apollo Creed's Creed.
The
So the
son.
Creed movies, that was interesting because that was a new story to an extent,
Yeah.
a new take of it, playing off it. So Creed 1 I saw, thought it was great. Didn't go back for Creed 2 though.
No, I think I watched the second one, and then I think the main character and Stallone they got into an argument
And that's the first one, I think.
on the
Or
on the second one because
maybe
then
that's
there's
the
like a
second
third
one.
one,
Yeah, but like it was what I'm saying, like I saw Creed 1 because like it was enough of like
a story,
it was enough of like
like a new
like an
plot.
homage.
Yeah.
Well, an homage to something like, oh, I remember,
Yeah.
Apollo. Like, oh,
Uh-huh.
I'd like to hear what his son happened. And the fighting was good, and I'd heard all these great things about, like, also uh, Michael B. Jordan, I think is his name.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, like, love the guy. Like,
He's a good
I almost
actor.
watched. I'll give you an example. I almost watched the one where he's his twin brother, the one that just came out with the vampires.
Oh, I don't know.
Um, Sinners.
Is it?
I think it's called Sinners.
Huh.
That it's a new one that he just came out with it, but it's like almost like it felt like God, I hate when I know these things and I can't remember. The George Clooney, Quentin Tarantino, Robert Rodriguez movie, the From Dusk Till Dawn. It felt like a remake of Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, no way.
It's in that premise that like
Uh-huh.
these people end up in a nightclub and like all the people in the club are vampires or whatever, and they have to like survive the night.
Have to fight the
You know,
way
like
out.
it feels like very dark From Dusk Till Dawn. I watched From Dusk Till Dawn, but From Dusk Till Dawn is like it's like it's Robert Rodriguez, so it's like it's over the top, explosions and guns and then it's also like some Selma Hayek and like, but then it's also Clooney. Like it's got all these elements that were like fun to like eat and
To
watch,
watch it. Yeah.
but like I'd never seen it again, but I seen it one time, but like it
What's it
didn't.
called again?
Which one? The one I'm talking about now, the
Uh-huh.
Robert Rodriguez From Dusk Till Dawn.
Okay, I'm trying to watch it. I don't think I've watched that
Watch
one.
it because it's it's got it's like it's enough silliness, it's enough campiness, like it's enough jokes, and then it's also like enough gore that it's over the top, so like you don't get too scared by it. But like it's got also like a lot of sex and a
Hmm.
lot of innuendo. Cheech Marin has a couple lines in it. Cheech Marin is hilarious. And so it's just worth watching for like all those things. And it's like I said, it's Robert Rodriguez, like Desperado director and all
Mhm.
these things. So like it's fun that like he's good with his stuff and Quentin Tarantino's in it and has good lines. And so like it's a good movie. But then Sinners, it plays on that same element of like an overnight having to survive a zombie thing or a vampire thing. Um, but I couldn't watch it because once again, like I don't care for like this, and it
Okay.
looks too serious. It
Hmm.
took it too serious. Like if you can keep it silly and funny, like I can get through it. If you take it too serious, you like
They lost
you
it.
lose me.
Yeah.
And so like Michael B. Jordan's in that, and he plays like twin brothers, and apparently he does amazing. I think it even got like nominated for a lot of things, but like it was a great movie and a great
Plot,
script.
yeah.
And I can't do it though.
No.
Like great director too. I think it's like Coogan, Ryan Coogan, the guy who did Black Panther.
Okay.
I think he's the director. Like, I
Oh.
mean, it's a great, and Haley Steinworth or Haley, I'm gonna nickname her. Somebody told me this one recently, where it's Haley Allen because she's married to Josh Allen now,
Oh, really?
which is I know because he's a football player, so like
Yeah.
I know football well. And then like but then I mean she's gorgeous too. But it's funny because like all those elements again, like you have a hot girl, you have the great director, you have but like I just can't because they took it too seriously. So like I don't really want to be scared. I just want to kind of like let that be the periphery of like a fun story, you know.
That's good. That's funny though, because like I feel like it's so hard now when like to make movies because I feel that they're just trying to get ideas from the past movies.
Right. Yeah. It's like they're regurgitating
There's
everything.
nothing really
They're redoing
original. So
everything.
that's, I guess,
Yeah.
close to original, but I guess
They're using some of those
following
elements that like,
something
from the other. And I think it's like it's at this point, I don't think storytelling, I don't think you're gonna come up. Let me take it back to a second where I'm saying like you're not going to tell an original story
Mhm.
because I think the greatest stories the premises of all the great stories have been told, like Greek dramas or like Shakespeare and all these things. Like they took the premises of like what were the classics of storytelling and made them into like these very, very well known epics, you know? So like you're always going to have the baseline story is always going to be the same. So like we've taken them now to like, very broad genres in the sense of like, is it a comedy, is it a drama, is it whatever, and then we can like filter that down like it's a bromance comedy or it's a whatever, but like it's all the premises are either it's a comedy, a drama, an epic, whatever, a fantasy, and then so then you're never going to be able to really retell a story or tell a story
Mhm.
without retelling some other form of that story.
Yeah.
So like it's hard to be a very original storyteller, but you can take very original concepts and then tell like a baseline
Make
story.
make it yours
Yeah. So
kind of
like a
way.
guy
Yeah.
like and clearly I'm a fanatic of movies and stories and all that stuff, but a guy like what's his name? Christopher Nolan. Like
Oh yeah.
I mean, that guy can tell you a story like no other. And like the way he like layers stories and like the concepts of his like that completely the concepts are so original that like you can't see where within that concept being so original, you can't see the baseline story that's being told.
Mhm.
You know, like Interstellar or
Yeah. Well,
Inception.
there you go. Did you watch all the Batman movies that he made?
Right.
So you did watch,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
even though you don't like sequels?
I did, but they were so
Dude,
good.
I know.
You know,
So
but like
that's
but
the
like
guy to make them.
it almost feels though like by the third one
Yeah.
he loses a little bit of that luster because there's only so far you can take the thing. But like
Yeah.
but those
And I think
but that,
for the third one, I think he was just pushed by like,
he had to make it
yeah,
happen. He
he
had to
had to,
make it.
I guess
And
it
he
was
also
on
had
his
he
contract.
committed to a
Yeah.
trilogy and stuff like that. But like even then like there he's taking content that's already established. Like comic books like
Mhm.
if you want to talk about to me what's one of the best modern day uh levels of storytelling because it is the truest form that homages like the old stories of like the epics and the heroes journeys and things like that, which is what makes great content, great story fucking telling. But then you lay it in a format that feels childish, but like when you really dig deep, the
Mhm.
level of like story and content and like amount of information that they've loaded into it is comic books or like graphic novels.
Uh-huh.
Like when you go to that space, like the fact that Marvel's so successful and people are like, oh, how do comic books, like no, because these are you're
Yeah.
taking in
They
a whatever.
find the equation how
Right,
to
but
make it
they're like let's
popular.
say it's 10 years of story. Like with the last series of movies, which were like they started with like Iron Man or
Mhm.
whatever, and they ended with Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Like that was almost like 10, 15 years of 12 years of storytelling in like movie form, right?
But nobody has ever done that. So
Right.
they
But if
kind of
you
hit on your childhood of like, oh,
but the
Iron
thing
Man.
is that amount of story that they took for those 12, 13, like, that's 30, 40 years of comic books that had already
Yeah.
been established.
Mhm.
Like those are stories that have been told like if
For
you really read
years.
comics, you knew that already. You knew
Mhm.
those stories. And like you're seeing these new levels of stories that are coming out now with all and you know like now that they're dropping like the whole
X-Men and
X-Men
stuff.
into
Yeah.
and Doomsday but
Yeah.
if you read the comics like for the last 20 years,
It
you
already
know what
happened.
story is going to
Yeah.
happen. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what story is about to happen because you've read it in the comics, but like now you're seeing it in video. But like 90% of people don't read comic books.
No, because
So
the
this is now
majority
all
is just
original.
us nerds
Right.
who
But then
read
to
the
them, it's all
comics.
original. So like
Yeah.
my wife is fascinated that she loves the comic books. Like she loves the Marvel movies. She's like, I thought I would never love them. They're amazing. It's like, no shit. That's the best
Yeah, it's
storytelling.
been
That's like,
happening
that's great
since the
fucking
80s.
storytelling. I'm like, I have all these comics. And she's like, you're a fucking nerd. Like, you
What?
literally just told me you've watched like the best, 10 years of movies that you've ever watched in your life. And then I tell you, yeah, but I read these when I was a kid in comics. And you're like, yeah, but you're a fucking nerd. Like, because I read them in comics, I was a fucking nerd. But now that you've seen them in movies and like
Like,
Robert Downey Jr. and
I
Hemsworth were
know.
the fucking playing the
Fucking
characters.
Chris
Oh
Evans
no,
on
this
it.
is yeah. Now it's fucking cool. Now it's oh my god, it's amazing storytelling. No shit, like look how big those guys are. Like yeah, everybody's gonna look good in that, But like
I
that's
think
my
that
point.
was the secret. I think that
It's a secret sauce, like it's take great storytelling and then add some like spices and bacon.
yeah. So I think like all the stars were the bacon.
Yeah.
Like you have Robert Downey Jr.,
Oh,
Chris
yeah, that's the stuff
Evans,
that brings
Chris
you in.
Hemsworth.
Look, and even if for us as guys, it brought in Elizabeth Olsen and
Mhm.
fucking Joe
I'm trying to remember.
Black Widow.
Name.
God
Yeah,
damn
I
it.
know. Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson. I feel so horrible because like if I ever meet Scarlett Johansson and I couldn't say her name, I think I'd die. I'd be like, no, I missed my shot.
And then you shake your pants.
Yeah, then I shit my pants and it's
like
over.
a scary movie.
Yeah, that's it. It's over. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and that's Scarlett Johansson. I never want to meet you because I might shit my pants.
Imagine she's used to it.
Yeah, she's like, it happens.
Happens.
She's like, it happens. She like pulls out like dude wipes. She's like, here you go. It happens.
I should have them for.
Yeah, next time you have to do wipes here. It's like, yeah, you know, it happens. Don't worry.
That was hilarious. She's like, no worry, I'm used to it. I have that effect on guys.
It's okay. It's okay. You're not the first. You won't be the last. That's gotta be bad. But you know what I'm saying? Like, even for the guys, there was there was plenty of candy there too.
Yeah,
you know,
it's like I think they hit like a different groups of people. So he hit us fucking nerds from like.
So you had a built-in audience.
All of those things.
Yeah, you had a built-in audience that was already going to watch. And
so that was
money.
the storyline.
Right.
Then you get all these like good-looking guys to attract like the females, and then you know if you're not a nerd, then you have Scarlett Johansson, and you have the Olsen lady.
Yeah, and then you have everybody finds their own little whatever they like in there, you know.
And you have all the females and like.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, also like the content, like the story is fucking great. Like even the success on the shows that they've had, like all the Disney like TV stuff.
Well,
like
Loki was like a big hit.
Loki was amazing. Like my wife was shocked that she enjoyed the show so much. I'm like, no shit, because like it's not.
And he's playing so much. Like
it's
they
such
didn't
richness. Yeah,
I guess that's the funny thing because like after the last Avengers movie, all the fucking movies were kind of like
they didn't know what they were going to do. They were really worried that they'd fucked up. Like they'd done too good of a job with the first like set of like the phases, or whatever. That like they were like, our movie cinema's part is going to dog shit. It's going to be dog shit. So they created all these TV shows to like start filling in the gaps. Or
I know,
but the quality and the
Lucky
content
was the perfect one that kind of like took what it was, made it to what the new ones are gonna come.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and it's
my
playing
God,
in that now. It's like introducing where these new ones are going to start to play. Like it like we were all having fun over here in this playground, and like the sandbox was amazing, and like we just played for days, and we could have done it forever. And then all of a sudden they're like, okay, we're gonna shut down this park. You're gonna come play over here. And they're like, that park really like doesn't look that great. Like that's the swing, and like, and then all of a sudden they're like, no, come to this is the sandbox. And then all of a sudden like Loki drops, and they were like, wow, like this is this where they're gonna take us?
Yeah, I think in like some way they're trying to make it political and kind of like
it's always
down
gonna
a
be
little
there.
bit.
That's Hollywood, I think.
And then
mass media.
Always. It's always been.
It's always been the case. Like if anybody thinks that like all of a sudden like they're reinventing the wheel once again, like no one reinvents the wheel. They're just repackaging it.
Before you didn't have social media, so you didn't know the shit that was happening. All this shit was happening before. But now like Loki was such a good encounter to like see, and it's like, okay,
the parameters were
what are they gonna do with this? And then they drop the trailers, and you know, like Deadpool's coming, X-Men is coming, and just like hyping you, like you're fucking
and
like
the multiverse.
10-year-old you is like, oh,
exactly. Now you're giving it all to me again. Like now, like have you seen the previews for the new Avengers movie?
Yeah,
it's literally just teasers.
It's just teasers. It makes a story already, just with the trailer.
But it's just teasers like, hey, remember Thor? Remember how much you love Thor? He's back.
He's there.
Hey, remember Captain America? Remember how much you loved him? He's back. Like, do you remember? You may not have been a big fan of like what we did with Black Panther and Fantasy Four or whatever, or Fantastic Four, but like they're back. And then all of a sudden, like X-Men are back.
And it's like, okay, like I know we cannot kill Iron Man.
Right.
And we feel sorry for Robert Downey Jr. He probably won't be back, but guess who's going to play Dr. Doom? Like,
he's back.
He's back.
He's back.
I think he's the most chill guy to have to like fucking run the trailers and like the things, because I don't know if you've seen it, like when they start like, there's like a camera and pans out to like all the Hollywood chairs.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, he's just like takes his sunglasses.
He's like, I'm back.
Like, it's like,
yeah, but that's the thing. It's like it's giving you enough that like now you're hyped again.
Yeah.
Like now you're ready for it. And they've also taken.
And even if you hate it, even if you hate those movies, you're gonna go and watch it because you're gonna be like, well, fucking like, you know, the trolls on the internet like, but Iron Man is dead and now he's gonna play this. Like, yeah, but is that's marketing.
Yeah,
It's gonna bring
but
the people who hate
right.
Marvel to just go watch the movie so can later they can talk shit. So they're trying to like
Yeah.
all the people.
But if you once again, if you know enough of the original
Yeah.
content, of the
Is
original,
mhm.
there is a storyline where there is a play in the multiverse of
Is there like a story? I
oh,
didn't
I'm not gonna
know.
tell you because I'm not gonna tell you because I've read enough. I know enough of the comics and I've read
I
enough of the
didn't know it
comics.
was
Like
one already.
there's a storyline that they can use. I'm not saying it's what they're gonna use because
Mhm.
once again, that's the beauty of it. I don't want
Yeah.
to even anticipate it or guess it, but like that could be where they go with it. So like it's gonna be fun. But there is a place where there's a storyline that plays in this that could like literally feed right into this. Now, where they take it after that is a whole nother conversation, but it's fun. And that's where you're like the excitement is there again. You're like, how are they going to do this? What are they going to do? Are they really going to do this? Or are they going to do that? Like, are they going to play with it? It's so much fun. Like, it's really, really, they've done a fun job. And the other part that I found also interesting is that like, when I first started doing the TV shows, for me, it was like Disney's just trying to like take as much money out of our pockets. So they're creating TV shows on the Marvel universe.
Mhm.
But now you're realizing that like they were very strategic. So like Kevin Foggy or whatever, like I think
Mhm.
that's how you say his name. I'm horrible. I
I
was
think yeah,
That's Kevin
per yeah,
Foggy.
I
I
think
think it's
that's
even though it doesn't feel like that whenever I read it, but it's Foggy, I think. But he's a genius in terms of like how he's been able to develop these stories and to keep it going for this long. Like kudos to that fucker. But you watched all these shows, right? And you're like, these shows don't make sense, and these movies didn't make sense. Like they did the Eternals, and they did this, and you're like, the Ten Rings, the I forget the guy's name, the
Doctor
Shun,
Strange.
no, it was the guy with the 10 rings, that he was the Asian guy, the Asian superhero.
Yeah, I don't know.
He was one of those movies that
Shanghai or something. Yeah, something like
Shun-Yi.
that.
Oh god, I feel horrible not remembering this.
Sorry, we're
Now I'm gonna sound
butchering.
like a racist. But it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's all these characters, like you saw all these movies and you're like, what is all this stuff they're doing? And then all of a sudden in the like last 3-4 pieces like they've released in terms of TV shows and whatever movies, you
They
realize,
piece it all
oh my god,
together.
they've brought it
Yeah,
all together.
mix.
And now we're finally ready for like the next Avengers. And where the next like phase of these stories are all gonna come together to make like one big epic. And you're like, okay, they fucking got me. Like the last 5-6
I
years
mean,
don't yeah, the last 5 or 6 years where I was like shit talking, like, oh no, they actually did this, they pulled it off. Like,
what if they
okay,
made that on purpose?
yeah, of
So we
course.
just
So you didn't know where they were gonna go.
we're
Like,
engaged on talking shit, but at least
yeah,
they keep us
good
there.
press, bad
And then
press.
it's like, oh, guess what?
Yeah, good press, bad press, you'll take it, man. Like however you get it. Like
Oh,
they
that's
took it for years, you
hilarious.
know. But then maybe they knew that like the stuff they originally let out, the earlier stuff that was like after the Avengers Endgame, and they released some stuff like they knew wasn't their strongest, so they put it out right there. So like people felt like, nah, it's not great, nah, it's not great, and then all of a sudden like they built up to their better content,
Hmm.
knowing that like once they come to like
Hmm.
Thunderbolts and like now the new Avengers, and like you're like, oh my god, like now you're hooked, you know. And then Fantastic Four has to be introduced, and then Deadpool and Wolverine because we have to reintroduce X-Men
Hmm.
into the Marvel universe, you know. And now you're like, oh my god, now they're dropping these trailers, and you're like, oh, I see the picture now. I see what you guys were doing.
Yeah,
Like now I'm in. Like now I'm hooked because now I want to know what you do with that. All this information that you've been
man.
doing, like now I want to know what you did with it. And that's it. They hooked us, man. They did it again.
Yeah, I think like
I mean,
yeah,
they've got my $15-$20, whatever it costs to go to the movies now. I'll go
it's
watch
probably gonna
these.
be 20 because IMAX did.
Yeah, the thing is, and that's the other part. Like, you don't go to the movies anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you only go for like the big epics. So, like, I
Hmm.
went and saw the I think it was the last one. I think I saw was Superman. I had to go see the Superman movie in the theaters, even though I didn't know if it was going to be any good or not. But like, it was what's his face, James Gunn.
Hmm.
It was Superman. You have to watch it in the theater because it's like
Yeah.
such a big epic, like on a TV screen or like at home. Like it's going to be good, but like you want to see it in the theater because that's what these movies are about. That's what the Marvel movies are going to be about. Like they've dropped all this content and all these other formats, but like maybe people haven't already watched it. But like I guarantee you, that Avengers movie, that new one that comes out at the end of the year, like the theaters are going to be packed for that
Hmm.
because everybody's going to go back to watch it. Like I remember going back and watching the Endgame movie, Avengers Endgame, and like those theaters were packed and people were literally cheering after every scene.
Well, that's the business that they do now. So it's like in order for you to like remember, they're gonna play. I think I did that like when the movies like the last Avengers
Uh-huh.
happened because they have like Avenger Part 2 and then Part 1 and
Yep.
then they have all the movies.
Yep.
So I think like I went to the movie theater like at the 1 or 2.
Yep.
So you watch all
All of them to the lead up, whatever.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah, they do
okay,
the marathon. So then,
yeah,
like, now you go back and watch them all, like because they know,
hmm
like, I mean, they've done it with everything. They've done it with Star Wars. They've done it with everything.
yeah,
Like they get like something that they know people will come and watch the experience,
hmm
not just because they've seen the movie or they're I mean, they're going to see the movie for the first time, but they want to relive that experience,
hmm
but they also want to live that experience as it leads up to like the
yeah.
next story, the next point. And so like you can cash in again, like you can take that in, and do wonderful things with it.
I know. When is coming up? I think it's this year, end of this
For
year,
what?
December.
For the new
Uh-huh.
Avengers? Yeah,
Yeah.
it's this end of this year. And
Let's plan it so we can go.
let's go, man. I'm in for that. Like I
Yeah,
told you they got me. I'm gonna go to the
I
movies for
know.
that one.
Let's
Like
go.
I haven't been forever, but like I'll go for that one. And I go
Yeah, I
rarely now.
cannot remember the last time I
Yeah.
went to the
And
movies.
I
But
only remember because I only go for like big epics. Like I only go for the big movies that you have to see like in a big screen. Like I think I saw Top Gun, the new Top Gun.
that was
I
good.
saw that one in
Yeah.
the theater because
hmm
like you
You
want to
have
see
to.
big
Yeah.
planes and the whole thing. Like
Yeah.
you want to see that in the big screen. Like, do I want to see? I don't know. Let me think of a great movie, like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like
Well, they have the last one with
which one?
Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt.
Right. Great movie.
Hollywood.
I
What's
enjoyed
it
it.
called? Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in
Yeah. Yeah.
Hollywood, whatever. Like
Uh-huh.
great movie, but I saw that at home
Oh,
because like I didn't have to see it in the theater. Like that
yeah.
doesn't have
It doesn't have like the
it doesn't
Amex
have the
thing
thing
that
that
you
I need
need
to
to.
go watch it in
Yeah.
the theater. And it's not that it's not a good movie, and it sucks. I hate to say this because, like I said, you can honestly you can tell that I'm a fan of stories. I'm a fan of like books. I'm a
That's
fan of
so funny because like
movies.
I never like we know each other for what, like 2, 3 years now.
Yeah.
I never knew you were a Stephen King
Oh my god.
or like Marvel movies.
And it's funny because it happens to my wife also. Like she'll like I brought up the Stephen King thing, and she's like, "When do you like this?" Like recently, I brought up like I watch F1. We talk about F1 because we've both been to a
I
couple
think
F
that's the
ones.
last movie I watched in movie
I
theaters.
saw F1 in
Yeah,
the theaters
that
too
was
because
good.
that's worth
Yeah,
watching in the
yeah.
theaters. Um, that might actually be the last movie I actually saw, but I don't
Uh-huh.
know for sure. But I did see that one in the theaters because once again, it's an experience you want to see with the big screen and the sound and whatever. But like I'm an F1 guy. I love it. We've talked
hmm
about it. Like people know me. They know I like F1.
Yeah,
They know
we
I love
were
sports.
in the
Well, we
we
went to
went to
Monza.
Italy. Yeah.
Yeah. That was amazing. Even if my wife will shit that whole experience, I was like, you don't understand. I went to like Mecca. Like I got to walk around the grounds. Like she's like, you didn't see the race. I'm like, I saw what I wanted to see of the race. She's like, I didn't see the race. You weren't there for the race. You were there to appease
I
me.
mean, you cannot like see it a little bit,
Dude,
but
I
like
have
after
videos.
you guys left, like I didn't know they opened the track.
Oh, we
So
walked
then
on the track.
we also went in.
Yeah.
So then I went with Shelly and some friends to the Texas last year,
Yeah.
and then I already knew.
Did
So
you
it's
do
like
what?
as soon as like it was, I think it's like 53 laps. So when it was like 45, I'm like I stood up and I'm like, Shelly, let's walk. And so we were, I think, in the entrance 19, and then they have like I can give you more.
No, don't worry. I'm a man. I'll drink it straight.
Oh, I didn't know. And then like
I'll water back it with some cold ice, with cold
oh yeah,
water.
you can mix a
Yeah, yeah.
nightcap.
No, have you ever had like? Well, you got to water back it. I mean, we'll get into that alcohol a little later if you
Oh
want.
yeah, like I
Yeah,
there's a
man.
story we can yeah.
But
We
go
can-
ahead, go ahead. So finish the F1 thing.
So there's like we were by entrance 19, and then nearby it was like the entrance to the thing. So we only had to like walk 5 minutes, and then I watch it on my phone. I watched like the end of the race on my phone,
Mhm.
but then as soon as they opened the gates, we were right there, and I got like
You
a
were
couple
in.
pictures, and then I saw like the trophy ceremony
yeah,
and
yeah.
things like that.
Well, your sister saw it in Monza, right? She was there when they were giving out the trophy.
It's
She was
so
telling
funny
you.
because like Leclerc, because when I think like okay, for the first race that was my first F1 race.
That was my
Monza.
second, but it was the best one I had because the
I
first one I
know,
just saw it like
but it's like
very briefly.
for all the things that could have happened in that race, like from our perspective, I think like I didn't know where to park. We're like in
Oh my
another
God.
country.
Yeah.
So by the time we walk, we were already like halfway there. All the people were there early. So we
Yeah.
were just trying to like squeeze into people to see the races. And then the corner that we choose, I don't think it was it a corner or
We
it was
chose
like a
the end of the
straight?
straightaway.
So
leading
we
into the
couldn't
corner.
see all the cars. I
Right.
was just like,
Yeah, in front of us, it was the blur. It was a zoom, 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 zoom. And the funny thing is, like, I would be like, I think that's this. I think it's that. I could tell.
And
But they would fly by us. But then, if you were able to get an angle high enough, you could see like down the aisle, like down the row, and then
they had to
there
slow
was a
down
big
and
turn
turn.
right there. So it's funny because this is a straightaway where they're hitting like whatever 200 miles per hour, 190, whatever,
and
and then all of a sudden they got to get down to like
60,
120 in like the next like 100 feet, 200 feet. So like it was they flew by us, but then it was all of a sudden like like
And
roll
then,
down and then do like this little S turn and then go. So like we
Yeah.
got to see enough of like dust ups and stuff that like we could see them slowing down, but it was like all far away from us and it was like in the distance. Like we didn't get a good perspective, but
But it was a
nonetheless,
good
it was
race.
still
And then like the thing was Leclerc won that
right.
race.
Ferrari comes
So
back
it just
that race.
like, yeah. So it was just, we were in Italy
Ugh,
and then Ferrari wins and the people
Italian
were
people were
fucking
losing.
nuts. And you were
Yeah.
like, even if like it was my first race and I'm a McLaren fan,
Right.
I was like, oh my God, like
Yeah.
these people fucking love this sport. Because I'm a soccer fan. You're a soccer fan
Yeah,
too, even though I fucking hate your team.
No, we don't have to talk about this. We can get into this later, but
But then it's like it's a different world.
yeah,
Because you think sometimes soccer will rule Italy, but it's like no,
But not
it's
in this town.
divided. Yeah,
Well,
it's
that
so
is- yeah.
divided, and these people were like so into F1. Everybody was like shirts off and like flags and shit.
That's like Ferrari's hometown.
I saw a
and
couple of people like
Yeah.
crying because it was like the first time. Like
it's like going to like it's like well I call it Mecca because of the but that's like the thing, like you're going to the motherland of like the fans, like for
so
Italian
it's F1,
for
it's
F1,
Italy,
but it's
and
F1. It's
Mhm.
Italy's best race. It's Italy's like known race, so it's like the Italian
Yeah.
Grand Prix to an extent.
Uh-huh.
And then it's in the hometown or like the town where like Ferrari's completely supported, and they weren't they didn't make.
Yeah,
I
they
think
were
they
the
were
underdogs. So
they were like whatever. I think they had like third or fourth in the poll that year. Like it was. I think it was Lando got the pole with maybe
I think Verstappen was
and then
second.
Piastri or something.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't Ferrari wasn't supposed to win that race.
Yeah, because I think at the time was Sainz. Carlos Sainz was like 5th or 6th.
Yeah, like,
and
it was- they
Leclerc
were
was
bad.
like
And dude, they just ran like the perfect race for the first time in like 10
Yeah.
years. And then they go on to win that
took
race.
over.
Oh my God. Like Italy was going crazy that
Yeah.
day.
that was like even though we barely see the race,
It was just great to be there.
Fucking yeah, that was so good.
That was
dude.
fun. That was fun. And so, but yeah, like, so what I was trying to say, like I have all these like, things that are like my like passions or things that I enjoy. And like you talking about Stephen King and like, I love Stephen King. You're like, oh, I didn't know in comics. Yeah. I love it. And I love like cars and if you think about it, like I love cars. I go to the Daytona 24. I've gone to like this. My wife buys me an experience to go drive a car.
Mhm.
She's like, what kind of car do you want to drive on this track? I'm like, a fucking Porsche. Like there's no other way, but it's like, it's gotta be Porsche or nothing, whatever. I get in the Porsche. So she's done all this to me. This year, I'm talking to a friend and he's showing me like how to buy used Porsches and like he's showing me his Porsche collection.
You gonna get one?
I'm gonna get a Porsche.
Which
And-
one? Which one?
It's gonna be a Cayman.
Oh,
Like a really cheap used one.
It's
but
like
like
manual?
It's like my starter. Yeah, 6-speed manual, little fucking beautiful little gem. But
no
see, then I gotta-
radio, no AC,
No,
just
I don't
the
care. I just want the
yeah,
fucking ride.
like the
But my point is,
the sound.
I bring this up to my wife, and she's like, "Where have you all? Where did this come from? All of a sudden, like all of a sudden, you're a Porsche fan." I'm like, "I've been a car fan the whole time. I forced you to
you
go."
open the closet.
Yeah.
It's like all these
I'm like,
fucking.
we went to a wedding in Italy, in Lake Como, and I figured out that the same weekend there was a F1 race, and I made you drive 45 minutes. Not only you, then I convinced the bridal party, and the bridal party came with us to this race. Like,
Well,
I am an auto
the funny
fan.
thing about that is like I don't know if you remember, but
You had already brought it up too.
yeah, no, but it's like we went to dinner, so it was you, your wife,
yeah.
Shelly, and
This
I.
is in like Sanford or something like that. I
Yeah, the
think.
prison restaurant,
yeah.
and then you're like, you were trying to be so subtle and like
Because she brought it. She goes. If you can convince others to go, I'll go.
I'll go.
And I was like, oh my God. And that's another thing. I can, my wife won't do anything with me personally. Like one-on-one, she's like,
but it's more people.
but if she's like, if you make it a party, if you make it a gathering, I'm all in. So now every time I want to do something, I got to like convince masses of people. Like I got to start wrangling.
I
Like
think you didn't have to, because like, so the story goes like, okay, Shelly, I think we were in a flight to like from Colorado here because she was working.
Uh-huh.
she read on a magazine, I think John Legend and
Sure.
the wife,
Okay.
they got married in Lake Como.
Yeah.
That's where everything fucking started.
That.
Like the planning, and they were doing all the shit
Yeah,
and blah,
yeah.
blah, blah.
That was a wild story too.
Yeah, so it's like, whatever. This,
Look, you got a fairy tale wedding, man. Like it was the wildest thing, but she made it happen though.
oh, dude, just
Wild.
yeah.
Wow.
And it's like international, but
Yeah.
that was all her. And I was doing things here and there, trying to help a little bit. And then my sister, Emily, is the one that's like, she sent me a text. It's like, dude, I love you and I love Shelly, but do you know that like 2 days after your wedding
And
is the
45
Grand
minutes
Prix?
away.
And it's just like, Monza, we're saying Lake Como.
Dude, it's like when I saw the distance and it was like, and not only that, we were driving like away towards that area. I was like,
well, we were going to Milan, so it's even like fucking
right. It's like
30 minutes from
Yeah,
Milan or something like that. And then when I go to Shelly, it's like, we need to get tickets because like F1 race. So I guess Dad is coming, Maria is coming, and Emily's coming, and maybe Emily's mom will go, and then you and me. And then Shelly's like, okay, let me see if it's in the budget. Then she comes back, is like, okay, I bought 10 tickets. And I'm like,
the group pass. Or whatever.
what?
Like, wait,
It's like,
what?
And she's like, well, because it's going to be you and I, and then your dad and Maria and Emily, and then I think it was Whitney and the mom. Yeah, and then we didn't
It turned out to be a huge group, and I didn't even know half the people that were like when they were there. Like, people just kept showing up.
The funny thing is, like, we bought 10 tickets already, and we didn't know who to ask because we had like 4 tickets left. And then we happened to go to that restaurant, and then it's like, and then you brought up, it's like, there's like an F1 race,
like right next to you guys.
Yeah, like 2 days late, like 2 days later. And then I'm like, I got tickets. Do you want to go?
I was like, oh my god. And that's when like I grabbed my wife. I'm like, we're going with a group. We're going with a group. It's happening. Like, I don't even have to convince them. They convinced us.
And then I feel like the fact there was like Shelly and like Dallas, and it's like, okay, they can go like whatever they want to do. Is like race, dude.
That's it.
Like,
that was it. When that came up, because I was like, how am I going to broach this? Like, how am I going to bring this up? Like, I mean, I have to convince them. Like, who am I going to convince? Like, I'm not going to bring friends out of nowhere. Like, if it's going to be the people at the wedding or bust, And then you guys were like, we just bought these tickets. We have actually 10 tickets. I'm like, I got one. I'll take you 2. Like, me.
Yeah, that was the person.
No,
like, okay, that's.
Then we're going. We're going.
Then, like, and then it turns out like everybody wanted to fucking go. So at the end of the day, like my dad's wife didn't go because then like Emily, like, I don't know, I think we kicked like, I thought we had one extra ticket.
Right.
So I told Shelly's brothers, like, oh, what if we bring the older son, like Craig's son, Bradley? And she's like, okay. And then Whitney was bringing her mom. So then we have to bring Bradley and like kind of like
kick somebody else out.
Like Whitney's mom, and then I felt bad for it. And at the end of the day, like the guy loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, at first you're like, I don't even know how we're going to sell 10. Are we going to get rid of 10 tickets? And then you're like, we might need more tickets.
It was like, oh, fuck.
But that's the thing is like, if you were going to be there, like if I told you, hey, you're going to go to like this whatever place, but like whatever you're a fan of, if you're a fan of like music, or if you're a fan of this or whatever you're a fan of, like, hey, all of a sudden you're going for one other thing, but like next thing you know, like whatever that passion of yours, or whatever that thing you love is happening like within like an arm's distance away from where you're going to be the same weekend you're going to be there, like forget it. Like you can't say no at this point. And that was it. And
so just a heads up.
Yep.
So last year, I've always wanted to go to Texas Grand Prix. And my dad went, I think 2016, but I couldn't go. And then Shelly got tickets, so we went there.
Yeah.
I went with my dad, and then Shelly told some of her friends, and then we meet with them.
This is last year.
Yeah.
This is Austin,
Texas.
Yeah, amazing. I heard it's amazing.
And then a week ago, these friends, so it's the husband, he's a lawyer, then he's like Shelly's friend, she's also a ER doc. They just texted us last week. It's like, we're thinking about go see Tomorrowland in Belgium.
Oh boy.
And then the day that they're gonna see it is the Grand Prix of Belgium.
Right.
So we might go there.
And then go to Belgium.
And so we might go to Belgium. And so if you want to look it up, I think it's September, August, September.
Ooh, ooh, send me the dates because
So
that
just
might work in the
start
calendar.
running numbers,
This
dude,
year,
because we
well, this year
might
I'm going to.
go.
This year I decided to take my dad. My dad is a huge F1 fan too. Like all
Mhm,
my auto passion comes from my dad.
mhm,
Um, and it's funny because all the passions that my dad had when we were kids in terms of sports, either they became like innate or like we just stopped or whatever the case may be. Like we didn't stop it. Like he took us to a bunch of Grand Prix in Miami that came around for years. Like not F1, it was Indy at one year, and then it was like another race division and stuff like that. But like they all came to Miami and he took us to all of them. We got tickets. It was great. And it was like, and like I said, I grew up with a Porsche. Like this is what I told my
mhm.
dad's, my Dallas or my wife when she asked like, "How do you love Porsche?" I'm like, "I grew up with a Porsche poster above my bed, like because we
Just
used to go to car shows, we used to do all this
911.
stuff, like yeah, the 911 Carrera
Yeah,
silver, like the traditional, like that was above
yeah.
my bed as a kid. So like that's why she's like, "How? When did you fall in love with Porsche?" I'm like, "Since I was a kid, before I even masturbated, I was looking at this thing,
I
fantasizing."
was masturbating
Yeah,
to the
not
fucking
that, not
poster.
fast, but like I was already fantasizing about like this car, like I found love there in bed. But
That's a
my
penny dropper.
yeah, 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 exactly, man. So like when she asked me like where did it come from, like years. But anyways, so like now I try to do these things, and my dad's like, funny enough, like before we moved here to Daytona area, like my dad brought up Daytona 24, and like it was like a thing that he always wanted to do, and I was able to take him, and that was a good dream of mine, and to be able to bring him and take him to that and have him have the experience that he wanted to have at the date at that race was amazing. And so now, like this year, my wife was like, "Hey, I know you had fun last year at F1. I saw how like F1 affected you, like how much you enjoyed it. Why don't you take your dad this year?" And so like my parents still live in Miami, so she's like, "Take your dad to F1 Miami." I'm like, "That's such an expense." She's like, "Do it. It's like once in a lifetime. You can get it done. Like why not take him?"
Mhm.
So now I'm going to Miami this year
Dude,
and F1 Miami, and we got great little seats. But like it's fun because you get to like now see these experiences like as we get older we
mhm,
can outlive them, like so you're bringing this up like, oh, we're gonna go to this, like but now that we're there and it's the same weekend, we might as well like tag along this little event,
mhm.
whatever, like. And so it's fun to like be able to do these little like, oh, maybe this year, maybe that year, like I my hope would be to like, as much as like I'm a fan of like let's say football, I used to like to be able to travel around the world and see this race. Like it's a fun race to
Yeah,
watch, like when you get to experience these things, like especially if you're a car fan, like oof, it's like the
yeah.
ultimate. It's like the pinnacle of the racing.
Because like in Monza, like we we were we went there late, so we didn't really
Yeah, we
have
got there. We
time
only
to
had
do
we only got the race
anything.
day, and we got there like the day of the race at the race start kind of
Yeah.
thing.
So in Texas, like we went the whole weekend.
Right.
Like we went Saturday,
Yeah,
and
qualify.
so it was like a sprint race,
Uh huh.
and then the qualifier on Saturday, and then we saw. So then it's like all these activities. We did like the pit stop.
Hmm.
So like Shelly was putting the tire, I was removing the tire. My dad was just like,
Yep.
and then we won, and like we have a picture, and it's like all the simulators and stuff. It's like, fuck, when was this in Italy? It's
Yeah, it was
just
probably there. We just
it
didn't get
was
to that
yeah.
part. We
So
didn't
it's
get to
just
that part.
like that's when I learned. It's like, okay, we have to do it, and
Yeah.
this like Saturday and Sunday. And if we can do it Friday, it'll be cool. But like,
Yeah. I got to say, like, so when I brought up the first time I ever went to an F1 race, I didn't get to do the actual race. I got to do the qualifying. So like,
mm,
I got to see an F2 race and I got to see the qualifying, but like, I got to see real cars, and
yeah,
it was in the Netherlands, Zanzibar.
hmm,
So like I got to be at that weekend, but not the actual race. And
yeah.
then like got to see like, but I got to experience like that. But like it was still the same thing. Like we
It's
went for
still
we got there for one
it's
day.
still a thrill,
We
dude.
saw the races from like the
Yeah.
general admission. Like but even then that's great. But like we left, and like so like it was like I counted, but I hadn't actually seen an F1 race.
Hmm.
So like that's where like when we got to Monza, like I got to see the F1 race, but I only
Yeah.
got to see the race. Like I haven't done a weekend.
Yeah.
And so that's what Miami's going to be. Miami's like the whole weekend. We're going to go and see like the 3 days and like the whole thing, experience it. But they do a great
Yeah.
job, man. But it's a lot of fun. Like when you go to see that whole experience, like it changes everything.
Yeah, and there's like a lot of celebrities and things
Yeah.
and stuff. So I think that's
Like,
like a good race.
yeah, yeah. Even like the 24 here, like in Daytona, like if you're a fan of auto racing, to see 3 days of racing
Yeah.
and to see like all the different classes and all the
Oh,
different divisions,
for
all the
sure.
different types of races, you start to like appreciate like, and
Yeah.
especially if you're a fan, like I love Fords, I love Mustangs. Like Ford Mustang
Oh,
to me is like
dude.
when we're talking about American
Mustang
cars,
67, 69. That's my
67 the late
favorite. Dude.
60s. Like, because I looked at it the other day, somebody
Well,
asked me.
that's the pinnacle of fucking muscle cars.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
somebody that era, right? Because
Yeah.
like across the board, like
Uh-huh.
Camaros, and then like you can talk about a
Yeah.
bunch of cars, but like if you look at me, for me, it's a Ford Mustang, and then you look at
Mhm.
the late 60s Mustangs from like 65 to 69, and somebody asked me, they're like, "Oh, what's your favorite car? What American car?" And I was like, "Ford Mustang," and they're like, "Oh,
Which one?
what year?"
Yeah.
And I was like, if I had to pick a year, it's 68,
For me, it's
67.
67 or
It's
the
like
69 one.
Yeah, like the 67
Those, like,
fastback or
yeah.
like the 68, but like even the
Yeah.
68 is beautiful, but then 69 they do a nice little remodel and it's beautiful. But like 67, 68 to me is like
Mhm.
beautiful. That
It's
class, that
just like
year.
the way
Oh
that
my
it
god.
just
I mean, you want to take it
it's
behind the grade school and get it pregnant, you know?
it's funny because like I keep fucking going to the like Facebook marketplace
Yeah.
because there's like a bunch of them,
Dude.
and then I'm like,
I
what
want
if
to
I
get one,
just buy another one?
but get an old one, a beat up one, and like, but then redo it. And
Yeah, and
but
it's
then,
like now I have a son that can be like a father-son
sure,
fucking
sure, sure.
thing.
But then, but now the question is like, where are you going to keep it?
Yeah,
Yeah, right. So like, am I gonna? You're gonna keep it in the garage. That's what Dallas tells me.
that's so
And
funny
then-
because like you know, we're like house hunting and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. We found one house, and the house it wasn't bad. Like it's just the setup and the
Yeah.
like the carpets were old and stuff like that. And then we go to the garage and they have a lift. I look at Shelly and I'm like,
Like
I
you can
think-
park a car under the lift,
So you could park and they have a lift.
right? But could you park a car under the lift?
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's the
Or
best.
you can just park it so you can like work on the car and
right.
stuff
Oh
like
my
that. And I think the guy did it like illegally, so it wasn't gonna show on the inspection
Sure.
or like on the
So it's not
appraiser.
even part of the value.
It fall through because like they said motivated like sellers, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it was like, yeah. But then I was like, oh, that would have been so perfect.
Oh
So
my
now we're like in whatever house we'll get later, I'm like, okay, how much is that lift?
So funny enough, so this is a joke. Is like I was always like, oh, I want like my dream was a Porsche, but like not an everyday driver, but I could take a everyday
Yeah.
driver Porsche too. But like a Porsche, I want an everyday driver, and I love my little Honda Civic because it's efficient. Like I don't care. Like I don't for any everyday driver, give me the most fuel efficient, easy driver.
That's why I have like
It's
that
almost
shitty
like
Toyota.
it's almost me like traveling. Like I don't want to spend anything on money on anything. If I can spend all my money on travel though, like I'm gonna go see the world.
Yeah.
I'll eat ramen noodles all day. I don't care. But like I want to see the world. So like I'll save my money for travel. Same thing with my car. Like I'll save my money. But if I can have like a passion car or like a couple passion cars, like that would be a dream.
Like a 90,
And one of the
90s,
dreams,
911.
yeah, well, or the dream would also be get a like a low 68, 67 model of a like body of a Mustang and then rebuild it. And so I brought this up to Dallas at one point, like because she used to have a Mustang and she wanted to sell it, and she has this truck, and I was like, let's just keep the Mustang. Like even if they don't give you good value, we'll keep. She's like, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna keep multiple cars in our parking lot or our driveway. I'm not gonna do that. Like it's not happening. We're not gonna have multiple cars because where are you gonna put them? And then now a good friend of hers, who's this guy who's like brought up the Porsche to me, and he's a Porsche fan. He has 4, to give you an example.
Man.
But he has a warehouse, and he has his cars parked in the warehouse. And so then Dallas is like, so when I come home with this whole thing, I'm like, I'm gonna get a used Porsche. Look, they're only selling for like $15,000-$20,000. Like you can get a this and this. I'm giving her all the specs, whatever, and she's like, oh yeah, where are you gonna keep it? Because that was the rule. Like you can't have extra cars because where are you gonna keep it? I go.
Then you brought like a pie chart.
Well, then I was like, so
funny, PowerPoint presentation.
Yeah, so I'm like, well, Tim.
Funny you mention that.
Yeah, Tim telling me I could keep it at his place, his garage. She has a garage. She has space there, and she's like, God damn.
He's like,
like now, like the one thing that she couldn't like, she got me on. Like the one thing she always gets me on, it was like, Trump, you got me. Like, you got me. That was it. Checkmate. Like I'm over. I can't do anything. Like I was like, we can keep it at the garage. And then she's like, and so now like, and then this guy, friend of ours is like, oh yeah, I want to have it so like everybody can keep their car here. And we have like coffee talks and like we come in, we ride our cars, then we go and I'm like, oh my God, like this is a dream. Like I can't believe this is happening. And so now I have a place. And so the guy's like, now he's like bidding on cars. He's sending me bids. I'm sending him bids. And then he's like, if I end up with this car, we'll sell you this car. And then I'm like, oh my God, like it's happening.
Let me know when you get
I'm not saying by the end of this year, but like if
it's happening,
it's happening that I'm going to end up with a Porsche. And when it happens, we're going to take it for a ride.
Dude, we drive to Miami.
I'll take it on the road. I don't care where, but we're going. Cheers on that one, brother.
Cheers, dude. I think like let's wrap it up. We
Mm.
already been here one. It's so funny because like I have a questionnaire,
Dude,
you
if you
know.
want to bust out some questions, rapid fire, let's do it.
Yeah,
I
well,
just, for me,
just
this is the fun. Like I always feel like I love podcasts that like let it be flowy and ever fun, and that's to me is what I wanted to do with
it's
you
so
because
funny because it's just like it happened.
and
Like I have
for
a
me,
questionnaire. Like
yeah,
I was gonna ask you about like your business and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that and blah blah blah. But I feel like if we wrap it up, we'll come back.
Yeah, we'll come back and do another one
You know.
happily, and that one we'll keep it like strictly. We'll call it like the
Oh
strictly questions or
no,
whatever. But
fuck
like,
that.
I'm happy
This
to do
was
this with you, man.
great,
I love
dude.
this, and this is a
Yeah,
dream of mine. Also, like, I love this concept, and so
to
like,
be there. Yeah,
yeah,
just
I'm always about chalking it up and chopping
dude,
it up.
I'll call you more often. Like
Yeah, man, let's do it.
thank you so much. Like, if you can look at this camera real
Yep.
quick and just shoot, like, the
Tell me.
whole purpose of this podcast was
Yep.
to just like talk to athletes,
Okay.
friends, and family. But then I was like, oh, what if this becomes kind of like a diary for Luke and like
Yeah, yeah,
future
yeah.
kids to come? So it's like, you know, growing up, you probably encountered like you needed some like motivation,
Sure.
or sometimes you want to like give up on some goals and
Hmm.
stuff, and it's like I don't want to give up. So it's like I feel like if this can serve for like motivation and things like that for him and future
Yep.
kids, it's like okay, he can go back and be like watch what mom and dad were like, or grandpa,
Yeah.
grandma, or like Uncle Alex or whatever.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So if you can look at the camera, give him like a quick like motivation, like
Okay.
advice to him.
You got it. So, I think one of the main advice that I've come to appreciate in my life, and I wish, and not that I wish somebody told me earlier, but like it's something that I think people don't really emphasize enough, is that it life is more beautiful through our failures than our successes. And so, with our failures is when we really learn the true lessons that we're going to get in life. And why do I say that? Like, everybody has these wonderful times in their life, and when you tell them things while they're having great times in their life or when they're going through things, like, they don't realize the lessons. They don't learn them themselves. They kind of like they hear it, but they don't understand it. And the time when we're most receptive and we get to the most lessons that we're going to learn, it's when we have setbacks or failures or moments where we like stumble. The key to life is remembering everybody falls, everybody stumbles, everybody fails. But the key is to always get up, because there's always something better when you get up, because now you've learned from that mistake or that failure, and you'll be better because of it. And so you'll always be a better version of yourself after that. And then life will be better because of it. So always get up and keep going.
Dude, I appreciate you for coming.
My pleasure, man.
We talked so much shit, and
Dude, it was fun,
appreciate
man.
it.
I'm my pleasure. I'm happy, brother.
Last cheers.
I hope it
And then
goes well
I'll
for you.
definitely have you here.
Anytime you want, brother.
You want to plug your website?
So I'm a big wine guy. This is my business, my passion. I love it. It's what I've pretty much grown my career on now. So I have a company called GrapeFind, and it's a bespoke kind of sommelier at home experience, and also a concierge wine buyer on a personal level. So if you've ever had a desire for learning more about wine or becoming have more understanding, or have someone personally guide you through your own wine development and your own wine purchases as a one-on-one at home, that's what I do. So it's a personalized one-on-one experience of wine at home with a professional.
Oh, perfect.
All right, brother.
Go ahead. Grapefind.com.
Grapefind.com. So grapefind altogether.com.
Thanks, man, for
No, my pleasure,
coming
man.
here.
Anytime.
And then we'll definitely do it again.
Let me know.
Perfect. Bye,
Salut,
everybody.
brother. Take care.